Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Senator Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to both the witnesses for being here today. As you both, I'm sure, are very aware of the fact that my state, South Carolina, experienced devastating floods back in October, which led to, of course, a recovery effort to rebuild our communities, our homes, our businesses, and especially our farms. Our farming community was, agricultural community was devastated in many ways, and certainly the resources necessary to rebuild are still in question, and we're still looking for ways to be of assistance to our farming community and our agriculture community. In many ways, our state recovers quickly, but the only way that we've been able to recover truly has been through the assistance of both the SBA and FEMA. You guys have provided a lot of boots on the ground, a lot of manpower, a number of hours, and frankly, a lot of dollars and resources going into South Carolina that we are very thankful for. When I think about the impact of the storm on my community, I think about the fact that Chairman Vitter was kind enough to allow me to hold a hearing in South Carolina. And what we heard from that hearing was many of our citizens were very thankful for the responsiveness of both agencies, very thankful for their interactions and their communications on a consistent basis seemed to be positive, which, of course, in the midst of a storm is not necessarily always what one would expect. There were some challenges, of course, and I'd like to ask a couple of questions about some of those challenges. Ms. Zimmerman, I understand that over the past few months, FEMA issued over $150 million in loans and several million more in grants to South Carolina residents. However, there are still some FEMA claims that are outstanding, still pending. I'm not sure if you have an idea of how many cases or claims that are still pending. Do you have an idea of what that number would be for South Carolina?
Thank you, Senator. I do not. If you're talking about flood insurance claims or, because it's note that our individual assistance program is not a loan. Those are grants that go out
Yes.
to the homeowners. And so if you're talking about flood insurance claims, I don't know how many are still pending, but I can get that information.
That would be great if you could get that for
Sure.
me. Another question for you, ma'am. Do you have any recommendations for ways to reduce the hurdles or the bureaucracy that's in your agency to make it easier and perhaps more more efficient for folks who are waiting for those claims to be finished up? Is there any way that we could expedite that process, or do you see any hurdles that we can work on clearing out of the way?
Yeah, so if those are the flood insurance claims,
Yes.
that does not fall in my purview in response and recovery, but I will definitely go back and meet with Roy Wright, who is our associate administrator over flood insurance, and be happy to get that information and to provide any additional assistance that we think could help if there's anything that we need from the state to help process those claims.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.